Welcome back to Auto Car, where we dive deep into automotive classics, rare finds, and the stories behind the wheels that shaped generations. Today, we're stepping into a timeline that never really happened, but oh, how we wish it had. Imagine this, it's 1987, and Morris Motors surprises the world by bringing back a legend, the Morris Minor, reimagined for a new decade. Buckle up, because we're taking you on a detailed journey through this unique blend of retro charm and 80s ambition, the new 1987 Morris Minor. So, you might be wondering, why bring back the Morris Minor in the first place? Well, back in the post-war era, the original Minor became a symbol of British motoring. Designed by Alec Isogonis, yes, the same genius behind the Mini, it was practical, compact, and affordable. It was the car that brought freedom to the masses and went on to sell over 1.6 million units worldwide. But by 1971, it bowed out quietly, replaced by more modern, boxy designs. Fast forward to 1987. The automotive scene is filled with turbocharged dreams, wedge-shaped bodies, and digital dashboards. Yet, amidst all that tech and sharp lines, Morris Motors decides to pull a bold move. They dip into nostalgia and offer something entirely different. The 1987 Morris Minor isn't just a revival, it's a statement. Its retro design meets modern practicality. Think of it as Britain's answer to the Beetle revival, years before Volkswagen even attempted it. At first glance, the new Morris Minor is unmistakably familiar. It retains those curvy fenders, round headlamps, and the iconic split front grille that made the original such a head-turner. But look closer, and you'll notice subtle updates. The chrome is sleeker, the lines slightly sharpened, and the stance a bit lower and wider, giving it more stability and a touch of aggression that hints at the 80s performance craze. Under the hood, it's no longer a modest side-valve four-cylinder. The 1987 version comes with a sprightly 1.3-liter inline-4, fuel-injected, producing around 65 horsepower, modest by today's standards but a noticeable step up from the original's output. Paired with a 5-speed manual gearbox, it's zippy enough to handle city streets and light highway cruising. Some variants even featured a CVT automatic, one of the early adopters of the tech in small cars at the time, aimed at making it more appealing to the growing commuter crowd. Inside, the cabin is a love letter to the past with just enough modern touches to feel relevant. The dashboard features a retro-style gauge cluster, big, round dials with chrome bezels, but behind those classic looks lie solid-state internals. The seats are vinyl cloth hybrids, designed to resemble the old bench layouts but offering more support and bolstering for longer drives. And yes, there's a cassette player standard, complete with an optional upgrade to a Blaupunkt stereo system for those who want to enjoy their mixtapes in high fidelity. What truly sets the 1987 Morris Minor apart isn't just its look or its specs, it's the vibe. This car was never meant to compete with hot hatches or executive sedans. It was designed for the romantics, for the drivers who appreciated charm over sheer performance, for the families that valued simplicity, and for the enthusiasts who knew they were driving a piece of rolling nostalgia. And it found its market. Young drivers in the UK loved its uniqueness. Older drivers appreciated the callback to the simpler days of motoring. Collectors saw potential, and soon, the 1987 Minor developed a cult following. It wasn't a mass-market hit like its ancestor, but that was never the goal. It was a limited-run tribute, and in that space, it thrived. Now, let's talk performance. On the road, the 1987 Minor offers a surprisingly tight turning radius, thanks to its compact dimensions and front-wheel drive layout, a departure from the original's rear-wheel drive setup. Suspension was upgraded to independent McPherson struts at the front and trailing arms at the rear, making it much more composed through corners than its 1950s counterpart. It's no GTI, but it's got enough pluck to put a smile on your face. Braking performance was also modernized, discs up front, drums in the rear, and servo assistance made stopping less of a white-knuckle affair. And fuel economy. In a time when leaded petrol was phasing out and unleaded was becoming the norm, the Minor managed an impressive 40 miles per gallon, making it a thrifty little ride in an increasingly fuel-conscious era. Of course, it wasn't perfect. Critics pointed out that it still lacked the sound insulation of more expensive rivals, and the rear legroom could be tight for taller passengers. And while build quality had improved from the original, it still carried the occasional British quirk, wobbly knobs, slightly sticky doors, and that ever-present scent of vinyl mixed with optimism. But for fans, these quirks weren't flaws, they were personality. The kind of personality that made you name your car, wave at fellow minor drivers, and smile every time you turned the key. Today, spotting a 1987 Morris Minor on the roads is a rare treat. Most have found their way into collectors' garages, enthusiast clubs, and vintage car rallies. There's an entire online community dedicated to restoring, preserving, and even modifying these modern classic hybrids. Some owners swap in Mini Cooper engines, others install modern infotainment systems hidden behind wood-paneled dashboards. The spirit of customization lives on strong. And that's the beauty of the 1987 Morris Minor. It's more than a car, it's a conversation starter, a bridge between generations, and proof that sometimes, looking backward is the best way to move forward. So whether you're a longtime Morris fan, a lover of quirky classics, or just someone who appreciates automotive history with a twist, the 1987 Morris Minor is worth remembering. It reminds us that not every car needs to be fast, flashy, or futuristic. Sometimes, it just needs to have soul. Thanks for riding along with us today. If you enjoyed this nostalgic cruise, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into automotive gems, and drop a comment below. Have you ever seen a 1987 Morris Minor in the wild? Or better yet, do you own one? We'd love to hear your story. Until next time, this is Auto Car, signing off.